It's time for Dodger baseball.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
And Turner in the air to center field. That ball's hit well. Martinez on the run. This is way back.
There we go, guys. Okay, welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. Tonight, a terrible night at the Chavez Ravine. The Dodgers, the offense was abysmal. The Dodgers lose 6-2. They're now 11-7, 2 games back in the NL West. And the Dodger offense was sleepwalking all game long. They need some smelling salts to wake up. And unfortunately, that offense did not produce all night long once again. The Dodgers offense, 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. 1 run over the last 17 innings. The Dodgers got a run on Chris Taylor's base hit in the second. Yesterday, 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position, 4 hits. But you know how we get things kicked off? We're going to break down this entire game, and we're going to talk about what's wrong with the Dodgers. We're going to break it all down, but first, give me your city or zip code. Let me know where you're representing Dodgers Nation, and give me those fire Dodger takes. How do you feel about tonight's loss? How do you feel about the Dodgers? They've now lost 3 of their last 4 games. They're now under 500 at Chavez Ravine. They're now 4-5 of the year. Remember last year, the Dodgers, they dominated at home. All the walk-offs, they had 12 walk-offs last year, 44 comeback wins. The Dodgers won 70% of their games. But let's get right to the comments, guys. I know you have a lot to say. This is your show. You can vent. Let it all out, guys. It'll feel good. It'll be cathartic. It'll be therapeutic for you guys, but here we go. I know I got no sound at the beginning. I fixed that. Should be ready to go. There we go. All right, sweet. Detail A from Joseph Megazenia. Day 1's in the building. Jesse Rivas, thumbs up. Assume you guys can hear me now. Mike Mercado, what's up, guys? Doug Crosby, there we go. Jermaine Armanta from the 951 region. What is up with the bats? What bats? I guess is the question there. The bats have been non-existent. The Dodgers, look, they're supposed to be death row, right? In the middle of that line with Max Muncy, Justin Turner, Cody Bellinger. Congratulations to Justin Turner. Let's try to spin a positive a little bit because Justin Turner's career, after being non-tendered from the Mets to have 1,000 hits tonight, his 1,000th hit as a Dodger. Give some love to Justin Turner. Look, baseball is a game where sometimes you need to lose to start winning, and this loss is really a rock-bottom loss for the Dodgers. Just they cannot continue this level of play. They're already 2 games back in the NL West. Look, the San Diego Padres are for real. I don't care. I know they're a flawed team. Their bullpen, they were having issues with it. That bullpen looks like it's come around. Then again, they're pitching against this Dodgers offense right now, so we don't know how good they really are, but I think, look, you got to finish top 2 in your division, but mash that hard button for Justin Turner. Congratulations. He gets that hit, that double. By the way, Mookie Betts only 18 hits away from his 1,000th hit. Mookie Betts is 27, Justin Turner is 35, but JT, Ginger Jesus, got to give him his props tonight. But this team is in trouble from GC. We got Jesse, we got Ryan. When will this team get out of its funk? I wish I knew. I wish this team was already out of its funk. Make us feel better, Doug. No mo FOMO. I'm going to do my best. Ryan, players only meeting, maybe. I was going to mention that. Look, I think that maybe it is time for a closed-door players meeting and they address some of these issues. I don't know if you saw Mookie Betts was walking off there after JT lined to center. I'm not saying there's any issues with this team because, look, it's baseball. You're going to lose 1/30 of your games. You're going to lose a lot of games in Major League Baseball, even if you're a successful club. But Mookie Betts looks frustrated out there. There's a lot of frustration. Cody Bellinger looks lost right now. Cody Bellinger is in trouble at the plate. We're going to break that all down, but let's get into your comments, guys. Get Jabu. But, yeah, as far as, hey, having one of those locker room rah-rah moments, look, Mookie Betts back in spring training, he challenged these guys. He got off when he was walking off there in the 8th inning. He did not look too happy with the club, and I think Mookie Betts, you pay him $365 million. This is your team now, Mookie Betts. You make that kind of money, this is Mookie's team, and it's going to be Mookie's locker room, and I think that now is the moment that Mookie Betts steps up and that he addresses this club and he says, hey, this is a shortened season. We're already 30% through the year. The Dodgers need to get it together. The Dodgers need to play with some fire. I know Fernando Tatis Jr., say what you want about the kid. The kid has Hall of Fame level talent. That kid busts his ass on every play. The Dodgers need to have a spark. They need to play with an edge. Tonight, they just weren't doing it. And I think that, yeah, like you said, I think a players-only meeting is something I would highly consider. Look, the players the players have to step up. The players have to hold themselves accountable. Like Tommy Lasorda said, the difference between the possible and impossible lies in the man's determination. So this team has the talent. They have everything they need to be successful. It's just, I'm not saying it's a lack of effort. Look, baseball throughout the league, you know the numbers. With the batting average across the league is down. The offensive numbers across the league is down. The hard hit balls are just finding gloves with this offense. But if you look at all throughout Major League Baseball, batting average with balls in play is 276, down from 298 in 2019. The league is batting 230, 7 points lower than it did in the 1968 year of the pitcher before they moved the mound down. So, it's not a justification with this anemic offense, but they need to find it, and they need to find it in a hurry. But yeah, guys, here we go. Barnes has a good day. There we go, Javi, on the positive vibe. Austin Barnes rakes, baby. He was on fire tonight. Now, Austin Barnes, give him his credit. Look, Austin Barnes, he is public enemy number one amongst Dodger fans. But tonight, Austin Barnes, he had a better night tonight. Austin Barnes, first at bat, he comes up there. He grounded out. Then he had a 2-out double. And then tonight, Austin Barnes, he had that hit right there at the end. So he goes 2 for 4 with an RBI, does Austin Barnes. 1 strikeout, 1 left on base, and he's still hitting a $154. So he raised his average tonight, so give him his credit. But here we go. Wendy Miller, go Dodgers. I know you don't want to get burned out. You got 2 more days to beat them. You can do it. 90503. We got Facebook, 92345. Nomo Payne. Eddie Harrison, Dodgers look seriously lost. Wake up. GC, you could see it in Mookie's face. This effing, I was mentioning that. He did say that. Mookie Betts, hey, and look, I have no issue with that. To me, that really gave me goosebumps. It got me hype. I was jumping on my couch because, hey, that is what this club has been missing, is a guy that holds himself to a standard that does not tolerate a lack of effort. A guy that's going to make guys bust their ass in that clubhouse and not accept anything less than 100% effort. And I think that it was a promising sign to see the frustration with Mookie Betts. Hey, you signed a $365 million contract. You think all is well, right? No, the reason why he made that type of money is because of that drive and determination that you saw when he was walking off into the dugout. So I think it was promising. And like I said, you mentioned a players-only meeting. I think that it's something that could be in line for this club, and it could benefit this club. So here we go. Facebook user from San Antonio, Whittier on the pitch. What up, Mike Mercado? We got Jesse, disappointing with all the talent on paper. Doug Crosby, East Lansing, Michigan, and concerned about a lot of our guys hitting under 200. Yeah, I mean, the Mendoza line, we're not even at that level with a lot of our with a lot of the meat of our lineup. You got guys, Max Muncy had a hit there at the end, but Max Muncy is a guy you might want to consider giving a day off or two. He's a guy that might need some time on the bench because Max Muncy is just not finding his pitches to hit. He's not doing what he did last year, which was find your pitches to hit. Make the pitcher pound the strike zone. Make the pitcher throw strikes and wait for a mistake and punish that mistake. And unfortunately, he's not getting it done this year. And you see those strikeout numbers for Max Muncy. On the year, Max Muncy, 20 strikeouts, leads the team. Kike Hernandez is second, but Max Muncy on the year raised his average to a $186 tonight. 2 doubles, 4 home runs, 5 RBIs. And then other people you mentioned, Jock Peterson, he's hitting 196, 13 Ks, 9 hits. Who else we got here? Chris Taylor. Give Chris Taylor a lot of credit. I love what I've seen from Chris Taylor. Defensively, he is balling. He is making play after play on the defensive end. He had that nice backhand stop, covered a lot of ground on that one. He's taking so many walks this year. That's very promising. Chris Taylor, 13 punch-outs on the year. He's whiffed 13 times and 10 walks. So 8 RBIs. I think Chris Taylor's a guy you want to see in there. But other people that are struggling, Cody Bellinger, really, it kind of starts and ends with Cody Bellinger. There's so much talk about Austin Barnes. Look, we don't count on Austin Barnes for our power in the middle of the lineup. Cody Bellinger, his batting average is 167 right now. And there's just a lot of issues with Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger went from barreling up pitches, from line drives, to this year, everything's on the ground, lots of soft contact, and he just does not look like the same player as he did early last season or even late last year. He just looks lost out there at the plate. So Cody Bellinger, he needs to right the ship in short order here because he's stinking up the joint right now, and there's just no other way around it. He had a great approach all last year. He wins the MVP, and this year he's just lost. There's no question about it. Pitchers, they just know where to attack him. And the good thing about Cody Bellinger, I guess one of the silver linings is the fact that he's not striking out overly excessively. 11 strikeouts, 5 walks for Cody Bellinger. So that's a positive, but he's just not barreling stuff up. I mean, if you look at Cody Bellinger, his hard hit rate, 86%. His barrel rate is 5.3%. Corey Seager was barreling it up at a 22.2% clip. And I think that it could be something like that last at bat, like his back shoulder, just mechanically he does not look right. Maybe it's some lower body stuff right there, his back leg. He's just not getting the power on balls, on pitches. He's just not driving balls. So here we go. Back to the comments, guys. Keep firing away. Give me all your fire Dodger takes. They are trying to hit the long ball. Wilfredo Cordova, Eddie Harrison. Dodgers seriously look lost, not inspired. The 909, Downey, California from Michael. Muncy and Bellinger need to get days off. Get them out of the lineup ASAP. I agree, but at the same token, look, Edwin Rios, he got his opportunity. And Edwin Rios, Matt Beatty's gotten his opportunity, hasn't capitalized. So there's not too many guys on there. Look, one thing I want to see Gavin Lux brought up to the major league level very quickly here. I want to see that immediately. I want to see that yesterday. Okay, I'd rather see Gavin Lux stink up the joint than Kike Hernandez be Kike Hernandez, right? So I want to see a mix up here, a new spark. Get the rookie up here. He can provide some life. Look, I think that's something that Dodgers should really highly consider. We got Christopher May, Stripling are both suck. Dustin May definitely doesn't suck. You must had a cable outage last night to not see Dustin May because he was mesmerizing again, like I said last week. Good job, JT. Dodgers can't hit. But yeah, let's break down a little bit of Ross Stripling's performance tonight because Ross Stripling, he was the innings eater. He was the workhorse. And the addition of his changeup made him a different pitcher. He was more dynamic. He was not sitting on that curveball, fastball combination. Ross Stripling tonight, he goes 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts in 70 pitches. So Ross Stripling did not have his best night, was not sharp out there at times. He was getting some missed bats and some strikeouts on that changeup. He got one. Let's break down his performance a little bit here. Need to regroup for Mike. No discipline at the plate. We got this was some terrible baseball. Belly has 0 confidence. Sean Shepard. I think you hit that one right on the nail. Excellent point right there. I think there's a lot. It's very mental with Cody Bellinger. Like I said, Ted Williams said 50% of hitting is from the neck up. It's very cerebral. He just does not look like he's having fun out there. He looks like he wants to get this at-bat over with and head back into the dugout and continue to try to figure out what's going wrong because he does not like he's up there to rake. Last year, it was up there, and you saw his whole approach was just totally different. He was just waiting for one to drive. You see it in his face. He looks dejected out there. He's starting to look demoralized, and I think you're right up there with that comment right there. Congrats, Jay. We got why don't we start putting Mookie Betts in leadoff and go from there, Brian? If you've been watching the show, I'm a major proponent of Mookie Betts leading off. You set the table with the best player in the league, not named Mike Trout, out. He gets on base. He's more dynamic. He's your prototypical hitter out there. I understand he's your prototypical leadoff hitter. And to me, look, I understand the benefits of having him at number 2. I understand modern baseball, how, look, Mike Trout going in the 2-hole. But I think what Mookie Betts does for this team is he sets a standard, and if he gets on base, you know he can go from first to third. You know he could steal second if you want to play that way. And his energy up there just to get things kicked off and set the tone and be a real tone setter for this lineup is something I want to see consistently. I want Mookie Betts to wake up every day knowing he's the leadoff hitter for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Look, his numbers are going to be there, and that's not even about that right now for Mookie Betts, because what does he do better than any player in baseball? It's create runs, okay? Getting on base, that accomplishes that. So I want to see him there too. How about how much blame does Dave get Javi? Look, anytime you're the manager, anytime that's your job, you're the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the team's not doing well, you deserve a lion's share of the blame. And look, this team looked listless out there. This team did not look like they played with any spark. Just look at Fernando Tatis Jr. He was playing the game with unbridled joy out there, and this Dodger team looks lost. So, yeah, definitely give Dave Roberts some of the blame there. He's not up there swinging the bat. As far as the lineup goes, look, Dave Roberts is without the hottest hitter in Major League Baseball, at least one of them when he went down, in Corey Seager. So that's a major concern, not having Corey Seager in there producing for this lineup, but I would give him a lot of the blame as far, look, not all the blame, but look, the manager takes the heat. That's how it is in this league. The manager takes the heat. Belly is a zombie from Mike. Matthew, Belly is trying too hard. Facebook user, they don't look like they're having any fun. Sean, who cares if the Padres are for real? Doesn't change the fact that the Dodgers can't hit the ball. Exactly. We got Jose, Nomo Fomo. You have to put on your SAP button for this one, but no fuego, no bueno. Or is it the other way around? Mix that up. Jose, they haven't made any productive outs lately. That's a great point there. Look, if you're not... Look, it's clear this year. Look, the ball is not juiced anymore. This is dead arm. This is the dead ball ear ball from the juice ball era last year. Last year, look, you get a home run on a bunt, right? That thing was flying over the wall. You were seeing moonshots. This year, it's not carrying quite the same. Look, that hit from Mookie Betts. I was looking at it. Mookie Betts, that one fly ball he hit with the runners on, 105 miles per hour off the bat. So that would have been a home run last year, no question about it. But hey, they're playing with the same ball. And if you look at Mookie Betts, yeah, in the 5th inning, Austin Barnes, he doubled to right center. Jock took that walk. And on a 2-2 count, on 2 on, 2 outs, Mookie Betts, he hit one of the warning track in left center for the 3rd out. Got some pretty solid wood on that one, 105 off the bat, but did not leave the yard. But here we go back to the comments, guys. Thoughts on the play of Chris Taylor at the plate? I love what I'm seeing from Chris Taylor. I think Chris Taylor is one of the bright spots during this slump. Look, the play of the year is Chris Taylor's throwout. You know, it was the first double play outfield assist to end a game since 2016. It was a magical moment from Chris Taylor, and offensively, his Achilles heel has been strikeouts, and he's seen the ball much better at the plate. He's a much more patient hitter this year. And on the year, Chris Taylor, I want to see him. Look, Chris Taylor needs to be in the lineup 5, 6, 7 days, at least 5 to 6 days a week. I don't want to see any. I want to see a heavy dosage of Chris Taylor. Give me CT3 for the rest of the year, right? Currently on the year, look, he's hitting 250. But 13 strikeouts, 10 walks. He's got a home run, 8 RBIs, and 13 hits for Chris Taylor after a slower start. So I want to see him in there. We got CT3 as public enemy number 1 for San Diego. Joseph, we got Chino. Beatty had a great at-bat. Yeah, not the worst at-bat from Matt Beatty. You know he wants to find a fastball he can drive. But today, look, it's just about not the Dodgers need clutch hitting. The Dodgers need guys that can go up there in situations and produce runs, and they need to manufacture runs in those moments, at those key clutch moments. Tonight, the Dodgers, they go 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and that's not going to get it done against an explosive Padres offense that comes in one of the best offenses in all of Major League Baseball. Look, the Dodgers, if you look at their offensive numbers across the board, they're right up there. So, yes, it's it's been rough, but if you look at the Dodgers offense coming into tonight, they were second in Major League Baseball in home runs. Number one, the Padres. The Dodgers were second. The number one is the Padres. Dodgers were second at 29. Eighth in Major League Baseball in hits, 134. Third in RBIs, third in runs. 19th in batting average, though. So the Dodgers coming into tonight were hitting 229 as a team. That's not getting it done. That's significantly lower clip than last year. 9th in OPS at 745. 9th in slugging. 7th in WRC plus at 111. 3rd in WAR. And then that K percentage is 19.3%. So it's not the strikeouts this year for the Dodgers. It's just the fact that they are not barreling up balls. If you're not A.J. Pollock in certain situations or Corey Seager. I think that Muncy got some good wood on that last one. I didn't really look it up, but here we go. Back to the comments. Corey was the X factor. Facebook user Melbourne, Australia from the 3013. I like that. We got Australia in the house. So you're in Australia. So that means you get to see the Giants season go down the drain the other way, right? No, I'm just playing. But shake it off and find a way. Do the little things well. Just win. Agree on Muncy. Needs a day off badly. What's up? Timothy? The GOAT. How's it going, my man? Back in the mix. We need Seager bad. Brian's point. Yeah, if Corey Seager is in the lineup, Corey Seager, make no mistake about it. He was, before he went down, he was the best hitter in Major League Baseball, or at least in the conversation. I think what Charlie Blackmon's doing with the Rockies is exceptional. But when he went down, Corey Seager, if you look at his peripherals as far as hard hit rate and contact rate, he was scorching the baseball. He was barreling up everything, and he was just a hits machine. And I think towards the end there, Corey Seager, let's see what he was hitting. He was hitting 340. Corey Seager, 340, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, 7 RBIs, 3 home runs, and 17 hits. So 17 hits. He's been off for a few days, and Corey Seager, he's still just one shy of the team lead in hits. He's just one behind Mookie Betts, who leads the team with 18 hits. Justin Turner has 17. But yeah, missing Corey Seager is a big factor. When you lose one of the best hitters in baseball at the time, one of the hottest hitters at the time, more importantly, it allows guys like Cody Bellinger and Max Muncy, it takes a little pressure off them and allows them to find their stroke while he's getting it done on the offensive end. So yeah, there's no question about it. Not having Corey Seager back hurts in a major way. Hopefully he can get back. So hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully there's not going to be a major IL stint. Today he was fielding balls at shortstop from Dino Ebel. So that's a good sign. That's promising. Lets you know it's nothing serious. So he's going to be back. We'll see how quickly. I think, with Corey Seager, you don't want to bring him back too quickly. I always call it the eager Seagers. You don't want to bring him back before he's healthy, because this year, remember the motto, stay hot, stay healthy, and they need him to be at his best. But it's a shame because he was really making a run at the MVP before he went down. I wouldn't be nearly as concerned, but 60-game season is more of a sprint as opposed to the 162-game marathon. Legit concern a bit. Yeah, Doug Crosby. I think that there is cause for concern when you're playing the way the Dodgers are playing. So to me, it's irrelevant whether they finished first or second in the NL West, because they're not going to win a World Series playing the way they're playing. They need to manufacture runs. They need to start driving the ball, start hitting in clutch situations, and then they need to get this pitching staff in line. Look, that's a bad outing from Clayton Kershaw, and that's a rough outing for Ross Stripling. Now, Ross Stripling was affected by those errors. So those costly errors really hurt Ross Stripling. Wasn't his worst night, but let's take a look at how Ross Stripling did. Cody need a haircut. Brian Yamada, hey man, I've been cutting my hair all summer long. You do not want me to take this hat off, man, because I got some pretty bad quarantine haircuts under this lid. So he might need a haircut. He's a little, what is our Dodgers Nation calls him, Frody Bellinger. I love that. I think that was Ed or Real FRG, one of those guys. Robert's got to go. Joe Buckley, I think it's a little premature for that. Enrique, Doc will sit down a couple of guys tomorrow. Sean Shepard, Taylor has the most heart that I can see than any other player. You got to love the way that Chris Taylor plays. Defensively, what he can do. Look what he did in Milwaukee. Look what he did. He led off the, I think one point, if you listen to the to the Blue Heaven podcast yesterday, Real FRG, Clint Pasillas, and Brooke Smith. I loved Clint Pasillas' point where he says he wants to see Chris Taylor higher in the lineup in the leadoff spot, because in 2017, you remember that offense. You remember the way he led off the World Series Game 1. So I think that's a really intriguing idea, that to have him higher up in the lineup. By the way, head to DodgersNation.com. Get geared up, the freshest gear in the game. Get your merch right with all the best Dodgers merch. And get the new Death Row one. I love the Death Row Records one. The Death Row Records one. Like I said, this lineup should be Death Row. It should be Death Row Records, right? But right now, if it was a rap group, they'd be the Insane Clown Posse because they're not coming through in the clutch. Seager needs to play from Ross. Doug, let's fire away, guys. How do you feel about tonight's loss? Is it a major concern? Let me know down below in the comments. How would you guys rate Ross Stripling's performance tonight? I'm just going to give it a C. I mean, it was really should have been 2 runs. That pitch that, let's break it down a little bit, though. So, if you look at the top of the first, so 1-2 pitch, that first inning, 1-2 pitch, he gets Tatis swinging on that beautiful changeup inside. He threw that curveball 30% of the time last week, and then he was getting some big swings and misses, got about 5 swings and misses tonight with it now. And you saw what he did against lefties. Lefties are hitting 128 against Ross Stripling, and then the righties are hitting it throughout 310 heading into tonight. So it's interesting. They got those reverse splits on that pitch. So then he gets the double play, and Manny Machado, he grounds into that double play, that 4-3 double play. And then in the second inning, you see the slider. He gets him to fly out on 2 pitches. He froze Hosmer on a beauty for his second strikeout of the game. That was a pretty curveball to get Hosmer there in the second inning. Then Myers flied out to right on the first pitch. So a 1-2-3 second inning for Ross Stripling, just 8 pitches, and then the third inning. Cronenworth is really a pain-in-the-ass player, right? Cronenworth is just a thorn in the Dodgers' flesh at times. Oh, look at, we got Jesse Padres. You're here to gloat, right? You're here to take a little victory lap. I see you. Hey, hopefully you can get to the playoffs. Haven't been to the postseason since, I believe, 2006. So it's been rough. Hopefully you're enjoying your stay in the Dodgers division, the NL West. But hey, you know what? A real threat right now is that division. I'm telling you, the Dodgers were making a run at the Braves for the 14 consecutive division titles. That is in jeopardy. I'm telling you, the Rockies and Padres, they can win games. They can win enough games to overthrow the Dodgers in the NL West. It's definitely something that's on the table right now. We got Get Lost Jesse, Trash from Furman, Seager back Friday from Sanjay. That is hopefully the plan. We went out and got a leadoff hitter that doesn't lead off make sense. You got me on that one, Brian. It was just so simple and so on the money. Jesse, Padres aren't the team you thought they would be, Padres, but Padres and Rockies are hitting bombs too. Yeah, exactly. They are, and the Rockies, one of the best offensive teams in baseball. But yeah, so Cronenworth, he doubles on a line drive to left. Jock dove, but it was short. Heads up base running by Cronenworth. He gets to second, and then Austin Hedges hits a sac bunt. Stripling overshot. So this was really the inning where it all went south for the Dodgers. The wheels fell off really in the third inning, and they never were able to recover. So Austin Hedges hits a sac bunt. Stripling overshot Bellinger at first. The throwing error by Ross, scoring Cronenworth on the play, and then Austin Hedges advanced to second, and then Profar bunts to the left side, and Turner throws wide. So 2 bad errors in that third inning, and then back-to-back bunts, back-to-back errors, and then Tatis singles on the ground to right. He punches a curveball into right field, and then the bases loaded, no outs with Grisham at the plate. Grisham grounds to Turner, who fielded on a nifty backhanded stab, and then he came home to get him out. So he goes home, you got 1 out, and then Ross hung a slider to Machado, and he hit a grand slam to deep center. So Manny squared it up, and that's just what it was. It was a slider. It was hanging there. Manny just squared it up. It goes deep, and then you're talking 5-1 Padres. Then the fourth inning, Myers grounded to second. He gets Cronenworth to ground to second, 2 outs. Austin Hedges on an 0-2 count. He gets him on another righty-righty changeup. So that was a nice pitch from Ross Stripling there. He gets Hedges on a righty-righty changeup. So that changeup is not a fluke. That changeup is a weapon for Ross Stripling. But in the 5th inning, he gets Tommy Pham to fly to left, Profar homers to right. So that pitch, just not a very good pitch. A 4-seam fastball, 91 miles per hour, top of the zone, not a lot of life to it, and Profar just ripped it out. Then Tatis singles, he strikes out Grisham on a changeup, 1 out, and they picked off Tatis at second, a nice block by Kike Hernandez. Machado singles to left center, he walks Pham, and that was it for Ross Stripling. So what do you guys give Ross Stripling on the night? A, B, C, D, or F? Let me see here. Think Blue. We got German replying to Doug Crosby, the knob, German. Ross was bad tonight, but the errors made it worse. That's probably a great way to sum it up. They won't roll over anymore. He's the new Dodger killer. Tyler still wondering why Muncy is starting. I thought he broke his finger. That's a good point right there. I think that, look, if he's playing, he clearly is good enough to play. He's healthy enough to be in the lineup, so I'm not going to make an excuse for him right there. But all in all tonight, 4 2/3 innings for Ross, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, 70 pitches, 50 for strikes. Now, one of the things you look at with Ross Stripling, his last outing pitched much better. He was 20 for 25 on first pitch strikes. He had 20 for 25 on first pitch strikes. Tonight, 13 for 22. So he wasn't pounding the strike zone. He was falling behind to some batters. Wow, Brett, you really came with it with the essay, man. I don't know if I could read this whole thing. Let's see. With Cody, he changed his hands back to where it was last season, but he's still crowding the plate this season due to the fastballs outside corner. Yeah, he's still crowding the plate, but I just think that he's swinging underneath balls. He's just struggling out there. It's just not, the timing's off, the rhythm's off. He's a real rhythm player, is Cody Bellinger, and he's just not putting the barrel on the baseball. He looks late out there. It's a timing issue, and he's just not seeing the ball real well. He's not finding his pitch. He's just not locked in there in counts where he was doing damage last year. You saw that again tonight. Jose Rod C, Wilford C, curious with 60 games why Will Smith isn't playing almost every game. Look, hey, because you saw what Austin Barnes did today. No, but Will Smith is going to be playing more. I think Dave Roberts said today that Will Smith figures to get a lion's share of the playing time from here on out. So he's had some really good at-bats, is what Dave Roberts pointed out. So, yeah, I wouldn't – look, this is the thing, though. Let's not focus on the offense from the catcher's spot. Yes, it's necessary to turn the lineup over and get to the top of the order, but you need guys like Muncy, Turner, and Bellinger to produce. Mookie Betts is – not even playing his best baseball, but they need to get on Mookie Betts' level. They need to get on Corey Seager's level. That's just bottom line this year is Muncy and Bellinger have not came to play, and Justin Turner has had his cold streaks. He had a nice double today to get his 1,000th hit, but for the most part, Justin Turner, he's had a lot of strikeouts in key situations this year, hasn't come through. But here we go. But yeah, Ross Stripling tonight, it just kind of makes you question Ross Stripling and his role in this rotation with Dustin May coming back. What if Alex Wood is really pitches well? He's had some shoulder inflammation, I believe. And let's say he comes back. Ross Stripling has shown he can come out of the pen, so I don't think anyone has their spot in the rotation sewn up. And with the recent performances of Dustin May, that puts everyone on notice because Dustin May is on his way. He's a budding superstar, and I think he's going to emerge as a frontline starter. I think Dustin May, like I said yesterday, he's a couple strikeouts away, a couple strikes away in key situations from going to the 7th and 8th inning of games. So, but yeah, let's take a look at this. It's August. Coming into tonight, the Dodgers in August, they're slashing 209, 281, and 444. Let me just repeat that. That's before tonight. 209, 281, and 444. That's not going to get it done. The Dodgers are just not doing the little things on offense. They just really aren't. Tonight, the Dodgers, 6 hits. Tonight, 1 run on 6 hits, 2 costly errors, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. 2 walks. Last year, the Dodgers, what did they do? The Dodgers last year, they made pitchers throw strikes. They made pitchers throw strikes, and they made pitchers pay for mistakes. That's not the case this year. This year, you've got easy out after easy out in key situations, and you're seeing it starting to cost the Dodgers. That record is not what we expected early on this year. They need to get back to what made them great last year. because right now they're bailing out the opposing pitchers. They're making opposing bullpens look like they're elite when they're really not. The Dodgers have to get back to what made them go. But here we go. Jose Rod Price opting out also hurt us. There's no question about it. Absolutely. You trade for a starter, you expect him to pitch, especially a former Cy Young winning one. Yes, he was probably in the twilight of his career, but they were expecting to get more than nothing, which they're getting out of David Price. So, yeah, I think that hurt the rotation a little bit. There's no question about it. But last night, I think that they're announcing Tony Gonsolin's going to start Wednesday. And I want to see Tony Gonsolin to pitch more. I think Tony Gonsolin deserves a shot in this lineup, in this rotation, to see what he can do. I think he's good for a spot start. But here we go. Wilfredo Dave is a good manager for a long season, but not a short season. That's an interesting point right there. I think Dave Roberts, what he does best is he gets guys to buy in. He gets guys to collectively attack each day. He's a guy that keeps the clubhouse in line. He's a guy that keeps the team morale at a high level, even when you have a losing streak. And I think that's one thing that Dave Roberts does well. He's done a great job managing the bullpen at times. Yesterday, he made some really nice moves with the bullpen getting key outs. Dylan Floro came in today. Adam Kolarek. Give Adam Kolarek a lot of credit. I think that is one of the things that's being quite overlooked. Tonight, Adam Kolarek, he goes 2 innings. We're talking about a loogie that sometimes is used to coming in and getting 1 out. He's your one-and-done loogie. Tonight, Adam Kolarek, 2 innings pitched, 24 pitches, 15 strikes. He comes in relief for Ross Stripling. And first pitch, he gets Hosmer to ground out. Very effective. In the sixth, then Cronenworth, he ropes a single to center. Kolarek gets Hedges to ground into a double play. CT3, you're mentioning his defense earlier. That backhand stop, another quality play for Chris Taylor. His sparkling defense just continues. So, love what I'm seeing out of Chris Taylor. And then Profar singled on a line drive. Tatis grounded out. Grisham grounded out. So, with Kolarek, a heavy dose of sinkers, inducing a lot of soft contact out there. He's done his thing. He really has, and he's still getting used to a new role, adjusting to the advent of the 3-batter minimum. And then Dylan Floro. Dylan Floro is resembling 2018 Dylan Floro. He comes in tonight, an inning and a third pitched, no runs, 1 hit, 19 pitches, 12 for strikes. He comes in to face Machado with a runner on third and 2 outs, and he gets Machado to fly to right. So he did his thing. Dennis Santana wasn't perfect out there, but Dennis Santana, another nice showing for him. And this bullpen all year long has been, without this bullpen, the Dodgers might have a losing record at this point. In fact, of course they would. The Dodgers bullpen has carried this team all season long, and they have a full complement of arms in there that can get it done in key situations. A 1.39 ERA through 17 games for this Dodgers bullpen. 25 home runs, a .25 homer per 9 rate, a .25 home runs per 9 rate. That's best in the show if you don't count the Cardinals, right? So the Cardinals are first in a lot of these metrics, but we all know they went to the casino and they gambled with their season, and they played like 2 games so far. But yeah, the bullpen has really, really came to play this year. But yeah, who do you guys think that unfortunately unforgivable? Jose Rod, yet he leaves old man Kershaw versus Soto and Rendon. I don't want to relive that. Yeah, it was a terrible move. Sean Shepard, once again, Belly should have been bunting to the left side with runners on first and second in the shift. I think that, I don't know if it's a pride thing. Cody Bellinger, they need him to hit home runs. They need Cody Bellinger to hit belly bombs. He hit 47 last year. Heading into this year, his rookie year, he hit 39. Then he followed it up with 25. Last year he had 47. He's supposed to be the Bomba guy in this lineup. He's the guy that goes deep with the bleacher reachers, and they need that from him. So you go up there and you're asking him to bunt. You're not going to go up there and ask Barry Bonds to bunt, right? But I think Cody Bellinger, they need him to find a way to find his stroke. So I don't know if I agree with having him bunt in that situation, especially considering the score there. But yeah, to me, I'm not a swing expert, but maybe they get Wallenbrock or some of those guys, Lotta, in there. Maybe they can get one of those guys in there to work on his swing, because It is just not happening for Cody Bellinger at the moment. Should have, could have. He needs to shave. Looks like the Padres are passing the Dodgers in terms of talent. Fernando Tatis Jr., the greatest shortstop ever, from Tanner Bergstrom. Wow, that's a bold take. You're going to give him – look, trust me, I'm a fan of talent, and I will never – I don't care what a team a player plays for. If a player is great, I respect that greatness. I watch as many Angels games as I can because of Mike Trout. But the best shortstop ever – I think that well, ask me in 15 years, right? I mean, this year he's playing really well, so I think that I wouldn't have him as the best ever. I mean, if you look back, probably Cal Ripken, a Honus Wagner is in there. So Barry Larkin comes to mind. I used to love Barry Larkin growing up. How about our own Pee Wee Reese? I don't know if I would put him in there. So how about my man who did the backflips? My man. Ozzie Smith. There's a lot of great shortstop. I don't think I'm going to consider Derek Jeter in there, but Robin Yount. I mean, look, he's got a long way to go. But he's a talent. He's a phenomenal talent. I forgot who I was talking to, but they're asking me how good Fernando Tatis Jr. really is. And I just told my friend, Fernando Tatis Jr. is better at baseball right now than Zion Williamson is at basketball. So Fernando Tatis Jr., one hell of a talent, and he is going to be a pain in the ass for this Dodgers team for years to come. Beat LA from Hector Barraza. That's how you know you made it. When you have an international catchphrase, an international chant. Like, I've never heard anyone say beat SD, right? Or beat SF. It's beat LA because everyone wants to beat us because they want to beat us. So, Dodgers will come around but need to see the division and turn it around fast. Yeah, the Dodgers are slumping. The Dodgers are ice cold right now. They're not getting it done at the plate. They really haven't had a dominating start deep into the game since Ross Stripling. They need Julio Urias to turn it around. They need some of their starting pitchers to step up. Walker Buehler hasn't been Walker Buehler yet. So this team, yes, they're 11. After today, their record falls to the Dodgers are 11-7. 11-7. And you hope this is the worst it's going to get. You hope that this is rock bottom for this team because the Angels, they had a nice comeback win last night. They were down 4 again. No, they were on 5 against the A's that had won 9 straight. So you're going to Anaheim. Rendon is starting to hit. Ohtani had a home run yesterday. Mike Trout is Mike Trout. So they've got some tough games coming up, and every game's a playoff game. And look, I know that there's 16 teams in this year's playoffs. I know that more than half the league is going to make it in, but you're talking about a first round that has only 3 games. This team needs to practice good habits. They need to establish a winning season, have a winning culture heading into the postseason, because if they're playing like they play now, they're not going to get it done. It's going to be a long winter and an early exit if they can't find a way to consistently manufacture runs. So this team definitely needs to find it. It's still, Urias has gotten worse since 2016 from Jose Rod. Julio Urias hasn't had his best start, but he hasn't gotten rocked in many games. Julio Urias, he needs to find his command. Julio Urias needs to paint the strike zone and just continuously pound the zone with strikes. That is what his death knell is. If you look at the soft contact, it's still there for Julio Urias. I thought that he would be missing bats more, but he's another guy I still haven't given up yet. I still think he's a top 3 in the rotation type of pitcher. Is he the phenom that we thought he was going to be? Probably not. Is he the second coming of Fernando Valenzuela? Definitely not. So he can still be an above-average pitcher that can help this team win in October. You saw what he did last year. Look, last year, for just no reason whatsoever, I watched the 2018 NLCS. He comes in there out of the bullpen, gets that big strikeout. So I'm still high on Julio Urias, but yeah, he's not what we thought he was going to be at this stage in his career. He's had some setbacks on the field, off the field, injuries, off the field stuff. So if he can put a couple seasons together where he doesn't have any off the field distractions, it could be a different story. But I think it's very important to point out that offense is down all throughout Major League Baseball. That is just status quo right now, and it's a trend that I think that there's a bunch of factors. I think that a lot of guys did not truly believe that there was going to be a season. I think there's a lot of guys out there that truly felt that this season could have been canceled altogether, one, because of the coronavirus, and then two, mainly because of labor negotiations. So I think every player had a different level, a different threshold of preparedness heading into the season. So I think that if you look at spring training is long. Spring training is 3 weeks. It's a lot of games. You're going to start to see the offense turn it around because it's not just the Dodgers. It's not just the Dodgers, and they're still putting up numbers that is top tier as far as, like, of course, it's a little skewed because of the first couple games with the Giants, but I still truly believe this offense has the potential to be one of the best offenses in the NL, especially when you combine Mookie Betts. All we need, we need Bellinger, Muncy, and Turner to consistently produce. Ideally, all three of them are consistently producing, but we need at least one or two to start to get hot. And unfortunately, Max Muncy, his understanding of the strike zone just is not what it was last year. He is a guy that is swinging at a lot of pitches that he was laying off of last year, and he's just not driving pitches and punishing mistakes like he was last year too. So, thank you very much. But yeah, look, the whole adage, when you put the ball in play, good things happen. I think the Dodgers, I hate to use the term launch angle because it's not about launch angle. It's just about them trying to hit home runs and trying to. I don't even think they're pushing for home runs as much as they're trying to get good contact and barrel things up. But like I said, the strikeout rate in Major League Baseball, it's gone up 14 straight years. This year, Major League Baseball's batting average on balls in play is 276. Last year, it was 298. 230 is the league-wide batting average. So the last time a team hit below 240 was 1968, and that led to significant rule changes. So there's something going on. Christian Yelich is struggling. A lot of big-name players out there aren't doing very well. And I think that it's a combination. Of course it's the strikeouts and it's the batting average and balls in play. Like I said, the Dodgers are hitting the ball hard in a lot of situations, but it's going right to mitt. So that's going to affect your balls in play average. And send Cody to the minors. You want to DFA him, Hector. Sean Shepard. We got Hector. Rick, uppercut swing. Yeah, you want to get on top of balls, but you want to drive it. You want to lift. And Justin Turner, he has his contract, his $65 million contract, because he learned how to redo his swing with Wallenbrock, or whoever that coach is. I think it was Wallenbrock, his swing doctor, that totally changed his swing around. How do you guys feel about the Joe Kelly hearing before we head out of here, by the way? We're going to be back. Hector Barraza, who's my ace? Still Walker Buehler, no question about it. Walker Buehler, with the exception of the NLCS 2018 Game 3, he's been lights out in the postseason, and to me that carries the most weight is guys that can get it done in October and for the most part of his career, and he's taking advantage of those opportunities. Last year, 12 2/3 innings, gives up 1 run in the NLDS. So it's still Walker Buehler until further notice. I think it's just a matter of command. He still has the gas, and he's just a couple weeks away from regaining that A status, a top 7, top 8 guy in the league. Kershaw done, Barraza, I don't think so. It was a big setback. The velocity wasn't there. There's just not a lot of margin for error for Clayton Kershaw. If he's not commanding the ball, if he's not putting it where he wants to, he's going to get into some trouble. Last year, 28 home runs, 17 of them solo home runs. So he wasn't getting raked. They weren't raking him out there. And you didn't have very many big innings, but yeah, Clayton Kershaw, if he doesn't have the feel for his slider and his curveball, and the fastball is hitting 91, and you don't have that differential between the slider and the fastball, guys are going to hit out a hanger or two. So to him, it's all about locating his spots, working the edges of the strike zone, not leaving stuff up. So I'm not giving up on Kershaw. I have to admit, I'm a little biased. I'm just a big fan of Clayton Kershaw in general, but I still think he can be an effective pitcher for this team. So I'm not ready to give up on him. But how do you guys feel about the Joe Kelly hearing, by the way? I'll take a World Series over winning the West any day from CJ. Switch it up, lose now, win later. Ryan, in 2018, we played to game 163. Not like we are invincible. Yeah, totally. It's a great question. The great point right there. Dodgers got off to a slow start. You saw their record. They picked it up. They traded for Manny Machado. They had a little bit of a World Series hangover, and then they made their way through those playoffs, and really was impressive. They really didn't deserve to beat that Brewers team. Of course they did because they won, but that was a tough task to go in there in Game 7 and get it done. But the bullpen is still outstanding from Eric Ayala. Yeah, I think that's really a very promising thing if you want to end tonight on a positive, is that, yeah, the offense is ice cold. The offense is colder than Rob Manfred's heart right now. There's no question about it. Bellinger, Muncy, Turner, they all need to pick it up. You really haven't gotten many contributions from Matt Beatty. Kike Hernandez is what he is, an occasional double, occasional homer, fine. Chris Taylor, I still want to see him pick up those power numbers a little bit. Edwin Rios hasn't quite made the most of his opportunities after hitting that home run. And Mookie Betts, a guy who hasn't played his best baseball, but he still leads the team in hits with 18. So Mookie Betts was on fire before he hurt that middle finger. Still came back, hits a home run. So Sunday hits that bomb, that 3-run shot. But the bullpen, 12th in innings pitched with 71, a 2.38 FIP. So that's big. 71 innings pitched, a 3.8 home run to fly ball rate. So that's second in the bigs, which is technically number one. So the thing you want to look at with this bullpen is the home runs, because that's where they got into trouble last year and in years past. It's the home runs in key situations, and this year they lead the league in that category, home runs per fly ball. So they're keeping it in the yard, and they've really been the bright spot. They have been the bright spot for this team early on here. But yeah, guys, give me a couple of your fire Dodger takes. I'll read them off here, and then we're going to end things here. Don't forget to go to DodgersNation.com for all the greatest Dodgers content in the game. If you want to gear up, get your Dodgers merch game right, head over to the Dodgers Nation store. Be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. The Dodgers Nation YouTube channel, hype videos, the Blue Heaven podcast, news, press conferences, the best Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. Head over to youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. You can follow me at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA on Twitter and Instagram. We can talk baseball all night. What's up, my man, Zed James Santiago? What's up, my dude? Here coming in late in the clutch like Kuzma yesterday at the buzzer or with .4 left. But what's up, my man? Awesome show from Wilfredo. Thanks, Wilfredo. Thanks, Doug, from Teresa, Hector, Bria. I want gear. You have the Beat LA shirt. Do you have the Beat LA shirts? Hector coming in with the last zinger at the end. We're going to see you tomorrow, Hector. I don't know where you at, man. I'm going to get a Beat SD shirt for you, bro. But thanks again, guys. Thanks for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. As always, my name is Doug McCain. We'll be back at it again Thursday. Dodgers tomorrow, another 6:40 start, another chance to take down the Padres. But thanks again, guys. See you next time. And as always, go Dodgers.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
And Turner in the air to center field. That ball's hit well. Martinez on the run. This is way back, and it is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner.
And for the second consecutive season, the Dodgers are going to the World Series.